and we'll go on to sixth man of the year. We've talked about this in recent weeks. Of course, the heavy front runners are Malcolm Brogdon and Immanuel Quickley, who's made a late push for the award over the last couple months with his recent good play in the Knicks, a good play over the last couple months. But we'll start with the Boston Celtics fan in the room, given Malcolm Brogdon is going to be one of the key names on the ballot. Who is your pick for
Yes.
sixth man of the year?
I mean, you just said it. It's still Brogdon for me. I'm just so intrigued to see like Quickly's like the betting favorite now. I just think that's kind of interesting, because it was Brogdon for pretty much the whole season, and Quickly had some explosive games as a starter. He started, some games and had some really big games, to which I'm like, okay, yeah, his numbers are getting inflated. They're getting inflated because of that. I think he's come off the bench. I think he started for like 20 games this season. Malcolm Brogdon has come off the bench every single game this season, and that's even when Smart was missing time, Jaylen Brown was missing time, Derek White missed some time. He was still coming off the bench in every game that he's played, and he's been pretty available this season for Malcolm Brogdon standards. I think he's played in 65 games this year, so he's been available. He's been very, very consistent off that bench on both sides of the floor. Not saying Immanuel Quickley has not. It's just if you look at his splits as a starter compared to off the bench, two totally different worlds. Malcolm Brogdon has been the best bench player in the league this season, and he is my favorite. He's my award winner. Quickly was second, and I also have Bobby Portis in there, who was an early favorite, but injuries definitely slowed him down.
I think that's a really, really biased take coming out of you because we all know that the real sixth man of the year is Russell Westbrook. The way he played on the Lakers all season, averaging great stats, finally decided to take a bench role as a former MVP. It's unheard of. And then somebody, and that somebody may or may not be named Rob Pelinka, threw my plans into the dirt. He led me astray, and he shipped off Westbrook, and suddenly my agenda was dead. My agenda was dead. So, because of that, I did decide to go with Malcolm Brogdon. I think he's been such a steady guard, a point guard, and a piece that the Boston Celtics really needed. A team that we thought was one of the best, well-constructed, complete rosters in the NBA. He added just one more dynamic layer that I think makes them even better and can put them in real contention to actually get that championship this year and finally get it done. Quickly's been great. Quickly's been real good. However, I think it's one of those cases where every season we got to make it a little bit more dramatic. We got to spice that race up, and we got to add another guy in. But it's been Brogdon versus somebody the whole season. I think that tells you who it should be right there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the differential between production when starting and production when on the bench for Quickley, because I don't want to discount how well Quickley has played as a starter this year because he has been very productive. But this is not an award of best player between Quickley and Brogdon. It's who's been the best sixth man. And Quickley is averaging 21 points a game as a starter on 47% from the field and 38% from deep. Off the bench, that's then 12.3 points per game on 43.5% from the field and 35% from deep. And there's nothing wrong with those numbers. He's been very good off of the bench. But those starter numbers are definitely inflating his overall numbers for the season. And given the fact that Brogdon has been, as you mentioned, off the bench the entire year, has not started a single game, and from game 1 to game 82 has been more of the consistently more impactful bench player. Quickley has made more of a push since the new year, but there was no doubt through the first couple of months of the season that Brogdon was better than Quickley. Quickley was not in the realm of that conversation. Quickley fully deserves to be number 2, but Brogdon certainly should be the winner of this award, in my opinion.
I'm glad we're all in agreement because I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff, and I'm just like, if you just look at the breakdown of the numbers, it's clear. Like, obviously, Quickley's having a very good year, and when he's starting, he's even better. But if this award is for best sixth man, you got to really take into account what they're doing when they're in that six-man role coming off the bench. And Brogdon's been, for him to be given about 15 points a game when you have Tatum averaging 30, Jaylen Brown averaging 27, Derek White's had a resurgence this season. And there's other guys that are still like, nearing double figures like Al Horford, Rob Williams gets his touches. And the fact that he's giving them 15 points a game every single night off of that bench, the one steady thing coming off that bench, you got to really take that into consideration. And he's doing it on one of the best teams. And like Gabe said, he's been one of the reasons why they've been so great this season.
No doubt. Very important player for the Celtics, and at least from us, should be a comfortable winner of the Sixth Man of the Year award this season.